Hi, Fernando Moraro of Agrural. It's your good friend Mike Tenura of T-Storm Weather in Chicago. In this video, I'm going to walk through just how wet it's been across the U.S. corn and soybean belt, going all the way back to last summer. We're breaking some amazing rainfall records, and we look for that to more or less continue. Here's a look at where U.S. corn is produced. Most of it comes from the central United States, and this is the area that's been much wetter than normal. U.S. soybeans are more or less produced in the same area, but the primary difference is that U.S. soybeans are also produced a little bit further to the south in what we call the Mississippi Delta region, which is where the Mississippi River flows into the ocean. It's been very wet across a wide area over the last 60 days, and this is where some of the problems for planting began. Notice a lot of green colors are on this map, and this tells us where it's been wetter than normal over the last 60 days and encompasses a very large area. More importantly, the last 90 days were also wetter than normal. So our soil profiles are saturated, and anytime it rains, we get flooding because there's nowhere for this water to go. It's even more amazing if you look at it over the last 180 days. A very wide area was wetter than normal over this period, and we just never see a map that looks quite like this. It's extremely rare, and I don't know if I'll ever see another map like this in my lifetime. We just don't ever see rain this widespread over this long of a period of time. We can weight out all of the rainfall and weight it by U.S. corn and soybean production and show you that 85% of U.S. corn and soybeans were wetter than normal over the last 180 days. Normally, this number should be around 10%. So we're just way above any normal level of wetness. And again, this is why it's so easy to flood. The month of June across the U.S. Corn Belt was also wetter than normal. It wasn't unusually wet, but we were at around number 30 wettest of the last 125 years of record. But that's not where we have the big problems. The big problems started way back in last August and maybe even last June. Each of the last 11 months were wetter than normal across the U.S. Corn Belt. This is the first time in 125 years of record that this has ever happened. The prior record was 8 months in a row, and that's over 125 years. So we've now exceeded that by 3 months, and if July is wetter than normal, we'll have exceeded it by 4 months. This is an amazing rainfall record to break, and it just shows you how long it's been so wet. It just hasn't stopped raining. The month of May was the wettest on record in the last 125 years. That's an amazing statistic. If we look at the first 6 months of the year by starting in January and then going through June, again, it was the wettest of the last 125 years. If we go all the way back to last June and then go through this June, it was also the wettest in 125 years by a huge margin. Look just how much wetter it was, 12.5 inches above normal, which is just a huge number. You can see that the next closest was only around 9 inches wetter than normal back in 2010-11, and then we have to go back to a major flood back in 1926-27 to have any similarities to what's going on now. The point is it's wet, and it's probably going to stay wet for a little while as we head into July. We'll keep on talking more about this coming up in future reports. And Fernando, we'll talk about corn and soybeans and how this affected planting specifically in some future videos. Have a great day.